Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here on ZLN. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers 2023 and 2024 season, the roster, the expectations. That's right, guys. It is NBA season is back. Lakers basketball is back. And, guys, I want to give you all my thoughts and my opinions about everything about this Lakers team heading into the new season, which starts today. Guys, it is very exciting to be, a Lakers fan when it comes down to it. When it comes down to it, this is something that we were anxious to see. We saw the preseason, and now this is the real deal. We'll see the Lakers all together throughout the first, second, third, fourth quarter. LeBron will be playing fourth quarters. Everything across the board. This is the season now. Records do count. And when it comes down to it, guys, this is expectations. Expectations is through the roof for the Lakers when it comes down to their skill set, what the depth is all about. Are they truly the team that's going to be a threat, not just for the NBA, but for the Western Conference? It sort of remains to be seen at this particular moment, but it all begins tonight against the Denver Nuggets when it comes down to it all. So I want to give you all my thoughts and my opinions about it. But before, like always, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, or X, all those great social media sites. And of course, like always, please be sure to like my page on Facebook, ZLN, and also follow me all across social media, X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, all those great social media sites. And guys, make sure to hit that notification bell for my live Lakers post-game shows on YouTube on ZLN. So please be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Without further ado, let's talk about this Lakers team heading into the new year, the new NBA season, which begins today, and Lakers basketball is officially returned to the NBA in 2023-2024 season. And guys, when it comes down to it, I'm excited. This is a great roster. Those of you who have been following me all across social media, I explained about the depth of this team, how great it is when it comes down to size-wise and players that can shoot from all across the board, defensive type players. And, when it comes down to the rotations and starting lineups, there is no denying that any lineup that's in place, you can really consider they can be a regular starting lineup, even part of a rotation as well. So let's get into the starting lineups. Obviously, for those of you who checked my last video that I uploaded, obviously the Lakers head coach Darvin Ham has announced that Taurean Prince will be in the starting lineup along with LeBron, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and D'Angelo Russell. And guys, when it comes down to this particular decision, this is a smart move. Smart move by Darvin Ham and the Lakers organization when it comes down to Taurean Prince. Like I said in my last video, Taurean Prince, he proved his right. He proved his role on the team. And during the preseason, he was fighting for a starting role along with Rui Hachimura and Jared Vanderbilt, and he just won the race. He won the campaign for the fifth starting role. And Taurean Prince is now going to be in the starting lineup in the opener against the Denver Nuggets tonight. And having said all of that, this is just a perfect opportunity for him to show what he's made of when it comes down to his shooting, when it comes down to his defensive type player. He's a 3-and-D player, which we've been looking for the past couple of years, and we finally found one in Taurean Prince. And, this is the perfect opportunity for him to, show what his worth is, because obviously he signed a 1-year deal over the summer, and now he is fighting for a contract year along with D'Angelo Russell and key players that's on the roster like Christian Wood and the rest, so who have signed to a 1-year deals. So this is just a perfect opportunity for Taurean Prince to show what he's made of. But regardless of all that, this is a perfect opportunity for all Lakers to show what they're made of, because the expectations is playoff appearance, Lakers becoming playoff contenders. And we were last season in the Western Conference Finals against ironically, the Denver Nuggets, the reigning champs of 2023. So this is just a perfect opportunity for the Lakers to make a statement against the Denver Nuggets tonight, and for Taurean Prince and the rest of the crew to just show what they're made of and step up to the plate and really make a statement to not just the reigning champs, but in the Western Conference Finals, that they are coming and they want to dominate this NBA season. So let's just talk about some of the key players. Obviously, LeBron and Anthony Davis, they're going to be leading the way throughout the season when it comes down to their dominance and them just winning games for us. I mean, those are the top two guys. They're superstars in this league, future Hall of Famers. And obviously, LeBron is in his 21st season, so he is the oldest player in the NBA. I mean, that's just crazy when it comes down to the expectation that he has for himself heading into the new season, in his 21st season. And, for him just to be the oldest player, I mean, it shows wisdom as well. But at the same time, can he still be the same old LeBron James? Sort of remains to be seen once we see him play against the Denver Nuggets and just throughout the NBA season. Obviously, I don't see LeBron taking any sort of decline when it comes down to him averaging around 20 points a game. We saw that he was averaging, I don't want to say career highs, I might be mistaken, but last season he was averaging around like 27, 28 points per game. I kind of see LeBron going to be averaging that throughout the NBA season, and it's just one of those type of skill sets that he's well known of putting out there. Even though in the preseason we did not see a lot from him, that's obviously usual because most superstars don't play in preseasons. They were just ready to go once NBA season, the regular NBA season begins. So LeBron James is going to bring a lot to the table when it comes down to his season, and he's going to be dominating throughout this season and being the number one guy for sure. But obviously Anthony Davis has full eyes on him going into the NBA season. I mean, the expectations we've been hearing is that he's going to be the number one guy, and LeBron wants to give him that mantle when it comes down to his ability to lead this team. If LeBron retires at the end of the season, or if somehow he wants to take a step back and have Anthony Davis be the number one guy, even if he somehow remains with the Los Angeles Lakers for another year, because he is still under contract. Obviously, he's going to make around $50 million heading into next season. So, but you never know about the situation about his son. If he gets drafted next year, sort of remains to be seen about that. But we'll get to that particular moment in time in a different video. But Anthony Davis, he is in a whole different situation now when it comes down to him obviously leading the way for the Lakers as well. When LeBron, if he's either resting or somehow injury occurs, Anthony Davis is going to be the number one guy for sure heading into this NBA season. I mean, it's kind of like a similar even situation with LeBron James as well. So, and obviously injuries do play a big role when it comes down to, our star players, including Anthony Davis. And, we saw he averaged career highs in rebounding, and obviously we saw how he played in the preseason when it comes down to his dominance, his defensive side. Obviously, when it comes down to that, we're going to see a lot from him on the defensive effort as well. Now, we could see sometimes he'll play power forward, sometimes he'll play center at times. So it remains about the rotation and how the lineup will look like with certain matchups. But my hope is that he will play more power forward than center, because we need him to be as healthy as possible throughout the NBA season. I don't want to see any dumb injuries that just occur for no reason for Anthony Davis. So fingers crossed, prayers up. Anthony Davis remains healthy for the rest of the season. And he made this statement. I mean, he wants to play for 82 games. I think it's a bit too far-fetched, but maybe at most, if he can just stay healthy for at least like 50 to 60 games, that's all good in my book, because he is dedicated to this team and he wants to win. So, but obviously, I'm not trying to say that, if he's out is because he's being lazy. No, I mean, injuries do happen. But at the same time, if he can just stay healthy, that show the motivation that he is that he put out there on media day, that he wants to play with his with his teammates, and he wants to dominate in the NBA. And there's got already conversations that he will be mentioned in MVP slash defensive player of the year conversations, especially what he showed in the preseason, where he was, I think in one game, I think it was the last game, he averaged 6 blocks. I believe, I forgot what it was. I think it was against the Warriors or something. But other than that, that alone showed that he is ready to go for the NBA season to begin, especially against the Denver Nuggets, who obviously him and LeBron, they even said that they can't wait. They can't wait to face the Denver Nuggets tonight. And it's just one of those type of moments where, the mindset, the mob mentality will be in play for sure. Hopefully we will see it, but, for sure. So with that being said, guys, I mean, a lot of expectations for Anthony Davis and LeBron James. But when you look at the rest of the crew, I mean, D'Angelo Russell, like I mentioned, when it comes down to his situation, he is playing for a contract year. And along with Taurean Prince and Christian Wood. So those 3 guys are going to be very looked at throughout the NBA season. And, when it comes down to it, D'Angelo Russell wants to prove to, the managers, the GMs, the owners, that, he is worthy of getting paid. And that's what he's going to do throughout the NBA season. And we saw how he played in the preseason. I mean, he was just lighting it up, averaging around I believe it was 17 to 20 points a game. And obviously that's what D'Angelo Russell is well known to put up. I mean, he's a scorer. The guy can shoot as well. And recently, even we saw in the preseason, he has been improving defensively. So in the preseason, he's been improving, defensively. So when it comes down to that, he's obviously trying to build another skill set to his resume when it comes down to the ability to be a dominant offensive player, but at the same time, show a little bit defensive side as well. So that's the expectations that we're going to see from D'Angelo Russell as well. And, with a player, like all players who are fighting for a contract to get paid, they always play their best basketball in their final year of their contract so they can get paid next season. So expect that from D'Angelo Russell. Hopefully he dominates, and hopefully he proves us that he is worthy of an extension, whether it's with the Lakers next season or with someone else. Hopefully, if he continues to improve and show us that he's worthy of it, you never know, maybe Rob Pelinka will give him an extension or a big contract, maybe in the mid-season or maybe next upcoming season, off-season, excuse me. So, but yeah, just a lot of expectations for D'Angelo Russell. Who else? Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, when it comes down to it, in his 3rd year in the Lakers uniform, he already got paid. He played in the FIFA World Cup. That just tells you right there that Austin Reeves is going to have a breakout year. I really think so. And, if anything, I kind of see him potentially, if he thrives, averaging 17 to 18 points a game, and, shooting around 40% from the 3. And, for the guy who's starting for the Los Angeles Lakers, I mean, there's a lot of eyes on him for sure. And, for him to have a breakout year, I kind of see him getting an all-star appearance. You never know. I mean, the guy showed what he was made of, prove all the doubters wrong in the FIFA World Cup. And, just that alone gained him the type of respect from a lot of players throughout the NBA, and, a lot of respect from coaches and from analysts as well. So the ability of what Austin Reeves can bring to the table when it comes down to his shooting, when it comes down to him facilitating a ball. I mean, he can play point guard, and he's a combo guard. A guy can play point guard. He can play shooting guard. That's what's great about this Lakers depth on this roster. I mean, multiple players can play multiple positions, and the size will be a huge help for the Lakers when it comes down to facing certain matchups. So positions in certain lineups will be in play with any player playing any sort of position. So just want to put that out there when it comes down to the greatness of what Rob Pelinka did this offseason when it comes down to it. And just to say it now, he deserved executive of the year. I mean, hopefully he gets it at the end of this season, but too early to tell, but I'm just naming it right now. With that being said, I mean, Austin Reeves, he's going to let it up, have a breakout year, potentially, my opinion, all-star appearance. You never know. So with that, I just have to put that out there. Taurean Prince, as I mentioned before, I mean, the guy, he's a 3-and-D player, very fit for the starting lineup. Obviously has a relationship with D'Angelo Russell, so the combination of that experience there, obviously can play a big role in the starting lineup, and also just the relationship and just the respect that he's getting from players like Anthony Davis, who endorsed him to get the starting role. So, that's fit there that obviously will work for the Lakers' favor when it comes down to the guy who is getting the respect from his teammates and just building that team chemistry there. Obviously will help the Lakers flourish throughout the NBA season. And, Taurean Prince is made it well known throughout in the preseason that he is deserving of starting. But, things may change. You never know, certain matchups and injuries do occur at times. But, obviously when it comes down to that, he deserves it. He deserves a start for the Los Angeles Lakers. So really looking forward to see what he is obviously going to show. Shooting is a big priority when it comes down to his repertoire, what he brings to the table. He even said that he wants to average 40% from the three. So that's a huge task that he will obviously do. But, throughout the preseason, he averaged 47% from the three. So that exceeded the expectations. But hopefully that follows going into the regular season. But, we just have to wait and see about that for sure. So, but obviously tonight against the Denver Nuggets, hopefully he lets it up against them for sure, because that was a downfall for the Lakers when it comes down to the shooting. Lack of shooting last season, and obviously bigs, which obviously the Lakers have. They have size and they have shooting. So hopefully, Taurean Prince brings that to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers. So just great starting lineup. Great starting lineup. Really can't wait to see how they play against the Denver Nuggets tonight and throughout the NBA season. Let's talk about the rotations. Sort of remains to be seen who will be in the second unit, obviously. But I think we have a much better idea of who will be part of the second unit once players rest for a couple of minutes, when it comes down to the rotation-wise, certain lineups. Obviously, Gabe Vincent is going to be backing up D'Angelo Russell for sure. He just returned from injury, so that's good news for the Lakers. So 100%, we have a healthy roster besides, Jared Vanderbilt, who is not going to be in the opener tonight. Obviously, when you look at the length of his injury, it's day-to-day type of scenario, but, hopefully a speedy recovery, because, we really need him when it comes down to his defensive side of the ball. But, at the same time, he can shoot as well. But we more needed him to be the dominant defensive player that he is in any game throughout the NBA season. But, we just have to wait and see about that for sure. And hopefully a speedy recovery for Vando for sure. But, Gabe Vincent, he's going to bring a lot to the table, obviously shooting and defense as well, especially his defense, which is obviously something that the Lakers went after him for a reason, because of his defense and what he can bring to the table. Now, even though D'Angelo Russell is going to be a dominant offensive type player who can score, who can shoot for you during the regular season, more likely we're going to use Gabe Vincent at key moments, key situations throughout the NBA season. But when it comes down to playoff time, we're going to see more of Darvin Ham, using him at the point guard position and giving him more minutes there once we reach the playoffs. But, still too early to tell. But expectation, as I said, is playoffs. Or at least, I don't want to say championship, because there's a lot of great talented teams in the NBA that will obviously be a contender for a championship this year. But, I still think the Lakers will make the playoffs because of this great roster that we have. So, regardless, of what things may change during the playoffs, postseason. So far, Gabe Vincent is going to be a reliable point guard that's going to be, really needed for sure when it comes down to it. So have a lot of expectations out of this guy, and really can't wait to see what he is capable of being throughout the regular season. So really excited for that. And then you have, Max Christie. Sure, we saw some hiccups from him throughout the preseason, but I think there's a lot of expectations for this guy to really show what he's made of throughout the NBA season in his second year with the Los Angeles Lakers. Obviously, his role has, obviously been improved compared to last season, where he was like the 12th player coming off the bench. Now he's backing up Austin Reeves in the second unit at the shooting guard position, and that's going to be the reliable type of player that we obviously going to need from him coming off the bench. The scoring, as I mentioned, guys. I mean, even though we saw how Rob Pelinka did in the offseason, bringing in shooters and bringing in some key players, there's still the expectations that the second unit will help bring a lot of scoring and shooting coming off the bench. And that's what Max Christie, in my opinion, is going to be for the Los Angeles Lakers. Hopefully, hopefully he turns that up and lets it up in the regular season. But judging by what we saw from him in the preseason, not to the expectation what we saw from him during Summer League, where he was just letting it up, averaging 21 points per game in Summer League. So, but, obviously the difference there was that, he was playing against rookies and players that were not ready to be NBA ready players. So with that being said, I think more likely Max Christie is, a lot of expectations out of him that most Laker fans are going to be looking at for sure. So hopefully he lives up to that. Hopefully he does. So really looking forward to it. Rui Hachimura, when it comes down to him, he is the guy that, in my opinion, is going to be the sixth man coming off the bench. He is going to be the guy coming off the bench after, just how he played in the postseason, against the Grizzlies, against the Warriors, and even at one point, when he played against the Denver Nuggets. How he was guarding Jokic at times. So, obviously he was practicing, throughout the offseason, obviously being coached by, Phil Handy along with Vando as well. So obviously he has proved his skill set throughout the offseason. And, there's expectations out of this guy because, obviously he got paid. But at the same time, he needs to prove his worth. And even though Taurean Prince beat him for the starting role, there's still a lot of reliability that he can bring to the table for the second unit. And I really think he's going to bring scoring. He's going to bring defense. Shooting is a bit lackluster at the moment for him, but at the same time, I think, with the way he was improving in the offseason, I think his shooting is going to be very helpful coming off the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers. Because we saw him at times, I believe in the preseason, I think he averaged around like 37% from the three. I might be mistaken, guys. So if you want to go check out his players' stats during the preseason, go right ahead. But I think just the way he was shooting off in the last season, in the postseason, he can lit it up. So obviously he's going to be the guy coming off the bench as the sixth man. And hopefully, if he be that reliable player and average around 18 to 20 points per game, we could potentially see him. I'm not going to name it right now, but if he thrives in the NBA with the Lakers, and obviously we're in a good position, and he's scoring for us and being a reliable guy coming off the bench, maybe he'll be named sixth man of the year. You never know. So, but don't take my word for it. I'm just saying it because I have full faith that he will let it up in the NBA season. But we just have to wait and see. But a lot of expectations out of Rui. Let's see who else. When it comes down to players who are going to be backing up, especially LeBron and Anthony Davis, I am looking at right now Christian Wood. Christian Wood is going to be the guy that obviously is fighting for a championship. No, excuse me, a contract year, and similar situation about the mindset of what D'Angelo Russell is and Torian Prince. He's fighting for a contract. He wants to prove his worth. He's going to prove all the doubters wrong, and obviously shooting his offense will be very reliable for the Lakers coming off the bench, and especially when it comes down to this team against the Denver Nuggets. So obviously when it comes down to it, Christian Wood is going to be a very reliable player for sure that we also need out of him when it comes down to scoring, when it comes down to shooting, and even defense at times as well. So especially for him to back up, players like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. So it's something that we're really looking forward to, and a lot of expectations from all of our players, especially the second unit who have been lackluster at times. But I think it was because of the preseason, because LeBron was not playing. So we expected more out of this second unit to really flourish during the preseason. But obviously when LeBron is playing throughout every single quarter, sort of depends on the matchup. They don't have to try a lot, but I'm hoping that they do, because we not always need to rely on LeBron and Anthony Davis to, help us win games. We need players to average double digits and, give us some solid scoring, solid shooting, great defense. So regardless of that, I mean, lots of these players need to step up at times, especially the second unit. So expectations is very, really out there for Christian Wood. And also, Jackson Hayes. He played very well in the preseason, I have to say. And I think it's going to continue on throughout the NBA season. And, there's a lot of expectation out of this guy because, being a high draft pick and, not getting the opportunities that he was getting with the Pelicans. With the Los Angeles Lakers, he's going to be getting that. And obviously we heard the talks from Rob Pelinka about the comparisons of him of Dwight Howard in 2020. So for him to have that type of level of appreciation from the GM, I think he's going to prove that. And we saw a couple of times throughout the NBA preseason that we saw him dominate on the defensive side of the ball, especially his athleticism is going to be a huge help for the Lakers coming off the bench for the second unit. So, and especially for a guy who should really dominate on the defensive end if Anthony Davis is sitting out. So him, Christian Wood, those are the two guys defensively that are going to be very reliable for the Lakers until Vando returns from injury. But, when it comes down to it, those two guys, they're going to have a bigger role on the team as well. So hopefully they live up to it for sure. Other than that, I mean, that's the second unit. But when you look at the rest of the Lakers, Cam Reddish, he is mainly going to get some opportunities, but not a lot of, big role on the team. We could expect him to shoot at times, but, be that athletic player, but at the same time, with the type of talent that we have on this roster and depth, it's kind of hard to say who will get more minutes, who will get less minutes. But Cam Reddish is the guy that could get some opportunities depending on the certain matchups that's in play. So, and I think Darvin Ham knows how well this, Cam Reddish is when it comes down to his skill set and what he can bring to the table. But, I think shooting and scoring, not shooting, but my fault. Shooting, but not a lot of scoring. But, we just have to wait and see about that. But, other than that, I mean, when you look at the rest of the Lakers, I mean, most of the rookies that I'm going to be mentioning, like Jalen Hood-Schifino and Maxwell Lewis, they could get some opportunities if somehow the Lakers either have a blowout win or is a blowout loss. They could be just playing just for minutes during that type of situation and somehow build stats. I mean, that's the possibility we will see out of those rookies. But sort of remains to be seen about that. So we just have to wait and see. So, but they will obviously develop with the South Bay Lakers for sure. But we just have to it sort of depends on injuries as well. Somehow they need to be called on. Somehow Gabe Vincent gets injured again, God forbid, or maybe LeBron gets injured, or somehow Anthony Davis. We'll see those two guys for sure being elevated into the rotation, but we just have to wait and see about that. But other than that, guys, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for this Lakers season. I mean, there's a lot of expectations. Obviously, playoffs is the expectations, and for our players to show what they're made of when it comes down to shooting, when it comes down to defensive style, and just health. Health is very important for this Lakers team as well, especially for our star players. If they just remain healthy throughout the regular season, could be the expectations. Maybe the Lakers will get the 3rd seed, maybe the 2nd seed, maybe the 1st seed. You never know. But I guarantee you guys, with the way this talented team is and how well they can play, the Lakers will be in the playoffs. I really think so, and that's the expectations headed into the 2023 and 2024 season. And it all starts with tonight against the Denver Nuggets, against the reigning champs. So hopefully the Lakers will get a win there, and hopefully they will potentially just continue to thrive throughout the NBA season. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you for listening. Also, for those of you who are listening to me, thank you when it comes down to it, guys. I do have a podcast for ZLN. If you're listening to this, thank you for listening. And if you guys are not, please subscribe to my podcasts on ZLN on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those great podcast distributions out there. And also follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, Threads, all those great social media sites. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and please stay tuned for my Lakers post-game show analysis on ZLN on YouTube. I do this every single season, every single game throughout the Lakers matchups, post-game shows, and I give my analysis, and we have people come on and give their analysis and their thoughts, and I just give you guys the rundown of my analysis about every single game throughout the Lakers seasons. So, or throughout the season for the Lakers. So please stay tuned, hit that notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next video, next live streams. Yeah, guys, I really can't wait for Lakers basketball to officially return tonight against the Denver Nuggets. And finally, the NBA season is back, and really can't wait. Can't wait for a great season for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I hope hopefully all of you will join me. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there. Go Lakers. Take it easy.